Good morning guys, it's January the 21st and Thursday. I'm Henry Green from London Trading Group, and once again I'm just going to run through what I'm expecting to see in the market today. So we have got a big meeting today, that's what I'm going to start with. We've got the Draghi speaking in the Eurozone press conference at 1:30, so nothing's expected to change. The interest rate's still expected to stay at 0.05%, and he's expected to continue on his path of 60 billion a month until March 2017. Any changes from that, I think Euro goes bid. We're actually expecting maybe Euro to go bid before and then maybe sell off. So maybe you see it travel up to 110, 110.25, that top level we've talked about. We've talked about a lot. So maybe it gets up there before, as he's speaking, and then sells off afterwards, which is probably quite a good play. At the moment, it looks like it's just still messing around. There's no clear direction. So I'm really looking for this period here. This is the period I'm looking to trade in euro dollar, where it just sells off nicely, but we still haven't had that. So on an hourly, we've made we've made another lower high here. So this nice lower high, we've broken through the trend line, and this could just be a retest now. So if we come off and we go through 108.60 again, that's the key area that I've been talking about before. So it's this area here. This will then hopefully sell off, and I think an order through 108.60, so 108.53 I've got my order in at, I think will be a really good sell in euro dollar. And that makes a lot of sense if you were to sell it through there, and it would definitely be one that I'd be looking for. So should we see that, I think euro is probably a good sell. On the daily, nice rejection from those top levels. I really like that candle. Yesterday's candle kind of suggests to me that now we should start to roll over. But again, this market has no direction, so just be careful when playing this one. Certainly be careful. Okay, cable. Another interesting day for cable. It's just held yesterday. We kind of expected it. If we go by what we've used in the past, these past market angles that I've used so many times, I'm just going to zoom in so you guys get a better picture of exactly where it is. But I've just replicated it again, and we're on here. So the moving averages are coming over. I've got this moving average to 70, which has been holding nicely. And if we look to hold here, then I think we take on that and we go lower. So again, my downside target, my first target is 140.30. So this is just relentless, this market. We're kind of getting down to 140.30. I think that's a really good target. So I think 140.30 could be the low today. But I'll be looking for anywhere between 140.60 and 140.30 as my target should cable break through this past market angle that I've got in here. If it manages to get up to this outer trend lines, this is just the channel that we've been talking about a lot. If it manages to get out there, obviously look for rejection, but I think if it goes through there, that's the first sign that the cable may want to turn around. Just be careful on the day, because as I've said before, we are at the 127, between the 118 and the 127 on the day. So this is kind of my first rejection zone potentially for cable on the daily. So just be wary of that one. It's one that I'm certainly looking out for. So I'll just play this with a bit of care, but certainly it looks like this could just roll over again. Based on yesterday's just holding bar, nothing in particularly strong about that. Again, we could get that pullback to the ATMA that it seems to like to do, but as such, I'm still looking for this to go lower. So dollar yen, interesting again. It's a good rejection off yesterday's low, so we have rejected quite deeply. We are coming back down again now, but I actually expect this to bounce. So we have the past market angle in here, and I'd expect to bounce down at 116.40. I think that makes a lot of sense if it bounces there. And we'll then see where it goes. But I think at the moment you've got to play this as maybe a bounce. Obviously, if it closes through, we'll see this go much lower. And 115.50 was my target yesterday. We only got down to 115.90, so maybe that gets taken on today. Again, this is looking pretty bearish at the moment. So the yen is strengthening certainly this morning in early trading, but you've got to wait for it to go through this past market angle for me, for it then to sell off. So again, this one's been fantastic, held really well in the past. So that's what I'm looking for dollar yen. It looks like could be a good day. If we bounce, make a lower high, and then go through, that's certainly what I'll be looking for that. So just be wary of this first sell-off. I think it bounces, and I'll be looking for a bounce maybe at sort of 116.40. So an early morning bounces are always good. So maybe you could get in there with a tight stop and just look for sort of a 1-to-1 stop below where the spike on the 15-minute was. So that makes sense to me. But certainly I'm looking for the yen short side coming into the afternoon, and then we look for obviously the other pairs matching that. Dollar CAD, unexpectedly, I feel, they didn't cut rates yesterday. By the looks of it, they want to be patient in their approach, the Canadians do. Polos came out and said that he wasn't cutting the rates, and he was actually quite bullish in his press conference as well. So dollar CAD kind of sold off. We had that big spike down. We went back towards the 146, mid 146s again to test that after the release. So it spiked down, held on the 90, and then bang, straight back up again. So what I'd be expecting now is I'm just looking again. I see this as just maybe that longer term retracement that we were talking about. Obviously it could rally, and again, if it makes those 15-minute higher low swings, I'll just be looking to buy through the top. But certainly we are in the rejection zone on the day, so that this pullback is well overdue. So I am still looking for that. Again, the D is still in play, so we're still looking for that 147.75 D, and that's very much still in play. We've just retraced a little bit deeper this time. We're down at the 61.8, so this move is slowing. As you can see, we kind of closed back. We'll close through this 90 moving average. So now we're just going to have to, for me, I'm just waiting for this to this past market angle again to break, and any sort of high lows on the day. Maybe this comes back down here and we make a small inverse head and shoulders here, and then you break through the top side through 145.10, and then we travel higher. So yeah, it's an interesting one. Rejection from the highs, but it's not particularly bearish. Yesterday's close, I wouldn't say that's outrageously bearish. So I'm just looking maybe to buy this when it's given me some good signals. So I'll be looking for those higher lows on the 15-minute time frames. I think that makes more sense for dollar CAD, but just be careful of this one. Again, I'm not too sure that this is going to be a buy today. I mean, it's got a bit of space up, and if I was going to buy this, I'd be looking for my first target to be this past market angle that we've used in the past. So that's certainly what I'm looking for today. If we move on to Aussie, Aussie's an interesting one. Again, we've kind of just entered this range. It's broken below this big level down here at 69.10, the one that we've talked about often, and we have just made another lower high here. So if we just quickly load the MACD, let's have a look what I don't really use secondary indicators, as I've told you before, but often it's quite good for divergence. So you see how, let's have a look. So yeah, I mean, this is pretty much in line. So these two highs have made pretty much in line MACD, so there's no divergence yet on the MACD. So this looks like it could maybe continue. So maybe we see this bounce and maybe it breaks back into that range that we're talking about in Oz. We're still in the downwards fib, so you've got to play it as if you're looking at the downside. 67.80 is still the target, but obviously you've got to get through 68.10 first, and then I think if there's a bit of clear space, so maybe it spikes down and into 67.30 if we see continued dollar strength today, which it doesn't look across. If I kind of scan all of them, it doesn't look like we're potentially going to get a big day of dollar strength. I don't know why, I just don't get that feeling today. So Kiwi again is another one. 64 has been the level in Kiwi. We broke through that good level at 64.70 and have now, we've just been retesting it. We've actually tested the 8 again. We've broken back through this counter trend line, this past market angle, and we're now actually just coming down to touch it again. So this is kind of a false break. We've then gone to test the top side. We've held on this really nice moving average. This one's even better, really. So if we just zoom in, you'll see how well it's worked. We've hit it here and here perfectly and rejected, and that's the 152. So that was actually a very, very weird one, but one I fitted to the market, and it's worked fantastically. So we have taken the A out on the top side. So again, you've got to be playing these fibs on the downside still, and I'd still be playing that as my preference. So the target is down at 63. So we're looking for that break. Rejection off there is rejection from the 8 is nice, and maybe we do see this sell off into the afternoon. So that's what I'm looking for. So yeah, I think Euro goes bid into Draghi, and then we come off. There's nothing potentially, there's nothing so positive he could say, I don't think. It's going to be a really interesting meeting, so I'm looking forward to listening to that. Everything looks like it's just going to hold today. I can't foresee any direction like I normally pick a definite direction. But at the moment it just looks yeah, a bit confusing and a bit at holding levels for me. So that's what I'm thinking. So I'm going to play this with care, maybe take a bit of risk off today, because nothing looks clear until I get the big signals. So please leave comments in the box below. Your comments are really, really valuable to us, and it is really great if you can have any contribution to our videos. Again, we run our virtual floor where I'm heading over to now, so please come and join us at that, and click subscribe to never miss a video again. Happy trading. Thank